Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So back here for the next installment of the Cruising Montana miniseries, as I just try to get through my personal goal and get the 12 deliveries I need to 12 different cities so that I can get the rewards from the World of Trucks series. So I was thinking initially going to Missoula might not work because I won't meet the 100-mile minimum. But I came across this job. There was another job to Missoula that was only 81 miles, but this one does exceed it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this, and hopefully it'll work, and then I'll be able to take something from here, maybe down to Butte at that point. All right, so to keep these short and to move things along quickly and just get you what you're probably here for, which is to see new locations on the Montana map, just see what things look like. I'm going to kind of jump around from area to area as I'm in somewhere new. I'm sure I'll have longer episodes where I'm going across the whole state or something like that, but for something like this, I'm going to basically come up this logging road so you get to understand and see what we've got going on here. But then once I get connected up, I'm just going to immediately jump to the point where I'm somewhere new. And that's kind of going to be the plan for moving through the series and getting through these 12 points as quickly as possible. Don't know what's the better way to go. In theory, this looks a little bit shorter. It's going to be really interesting trying to get out of here, but this may be the same way I'm going to want to go. Again, this is my own truck, so I don't want to do ridiculous damage to it going over rough roads. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot happening going the other way. Nice little building here. And definitely with these logging areas, it's always a bit of intrigue depending on how it's working. This is going less uphill than I've certainly had. And there we go. We continue to damage ourselves, which is not great.
This is where it ends.
Good news is I've got, a good amount of... I think I'll just pull around and come in and then back up. This might be a sharp turn, though. Alright, well, at this point, I think you've seen what you need to see. I'll connect up with you in a bit. Just passing through Missoula itself. But I'm going to be going into spaces not been into, so we're going to be crossing over to the east side here. Not much longer to go, 64 miles it's telling me. And obviously if you've done anything in ATS, you know miles go by pretty quickly. So in real time, according to what I don't understand. Did something bump me? Well, I didn't even feel it in force feedback. He must have merged early or something. But we're heading east into the state a little bit, and then I think we're going to have some logging space that we're going to be working with. Getting this bulldozer here. But if we're taking a bit of a broader look, yeah, a little bit of mountains, but
Right.
not much.
And then exit right.
Alright. So I think we always, at least I certainly think of Montana as always mountainous everywhere, and I don't know that that's entirely true. So it will be interesting to see how everything looks as we traverse various parts of the state. Not sure if I'm going to need to go right, or looks like there's a way station there, so we may get told to go there. If we do, I'll just take care of that and save you the time. So, another really large truck stop, so there's a lot of these in the area. A little bit of a thing on the road here. Looks like some point of interest there. Definitely like a historical marker of some sort. So yeah, not sure. Alright, there we go. I was gonna say it wasn't sure that I could tell if the road was going by here. Looks like a fire tower up on the hill. Mountain, I suppose. Alright, so it does look like we're gonna hit past the location, but then we've got some fun drives up. Ooh, that crane is moving across. Some pretty solid industry here. So this is the wood products factory. Pretty nice. Nice bunting along the railway of that home. Alright, this is almost 270 degree, or I guess 130 degree plus type of thing here. Alright, well, this is definitely much more forested than where we left. Trying to figure out if this is like really two roads. Kind of looks like it may be. Not sure exactly where I want to be on this. Good news is at least it makes it wide, so for areas like this where we've got a bit of a hairpin turn, if somehow something else is coming, or even if it isn't, I get a little more clearance on things. It's relatively smooth, but as you can see, we've got a ways to go here. So a short delivery, but still a bit of time just because of the start and end that we had to go through because of the location out in logging areas. I think for now I'm going to stay to the right. Just make sure nothing... I think they're pretty good on these roads to not suddenly have traffic, but you never know, right? Always best to look. Looks like there's a road that might head out, yeah, through the fence there, so obviously we can't go that way, but from a environment standpoint, just making it feel correct. A lot of switchbacks, which again is something one would expect in mountainous terrain. So yeah, I think we're literally going to be up there, we just can't see the road yet. Just trying to be careful. You're always trading off speed and safety. I don't necessarily need to bottom out here either with the trailer, because you can see it's a low boy and It's hanging down there quite a bit for sure. So there you go, you can see the road down there through the trees. So as expected, we're up here on a little bit of that ridge. I think we had a bird soaring around there. I think in between picking up another job, I'm going to be continuing to expand my empire, because you can see I'm approaching $1 million again. Alright, so looks like they're planting new trees for the ones they've taken out, which is normal practice for logging. Obviously they want to be able to come back. There's an eagle soaring around up above, which is what I think I saw before. Riding those thermals, just hunting away. Really nice viewpoint, that's for sure. So some pretty nice kind of shaving up the branches and the debris. I don't know that I've seen that in other logging locations. Pretty neat. Alright, so I'm going to take this log stacker from here down to this location in Butte. Obviously a logging area, but this is a trailer or a train depot. But my hope is, being this far west of Butte, then Bozeman or Helena are going to be possible in the 100-mile limit. Gotten the log stacker out down the mountain, and now we're heading east toward Butte. So we're kind of making that sharp turn that it showed. This has got some weight. Tells me it's 119,000 pounds, so this is definitely a heavy load. There's the Blackfoot River. But yeah, just beautiful country here, that's for sure. Nice job. Yeah, we're going to have some states coming up if SCS continues to expand, which certainly I hope they will do, that are going to get a lot more plain looking once we get east of here, of everything they've kind of put out. Because we're going to be entering the Great Plains states to continue moving across the country. Doesn't mean there aren't areas or cities they can do something in, but the mountainous terrain, this is kind of it. I mean, Texas may have some hills and so forth in certain parts, but this is the last mountainous state on the west side. So it's going to be a transition, that's for sure, and I'm just hoping people aren't going to be less interested in buying things just because the views aren't as dramatic. So we do have mountains and so forth as we get over to the east side a bit, but nothing like the Rocky Mountains out here on the west side of the country. So I will have to sleep. As you can hear, my driver's had enough. So even though they're short trips, they're still taking a bit of time. So the last two I've done have still added up to a full day's work. But once I get to the area, hopefully I'll be able to find something, because I do think this is a little bit out of the way. So yeah, a little bit hilly, a little bit mountainous. Not sure if this is going to be somewhere we'll exit already. If we're going to continue, I guess we'll listen to our GPS. But we're down to 35 miles, so yeah, it looks like we might be exiting here.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
Alright, so I-15 south. Alright, we're down to 25 miles. You can see our delivery point now probably will stay on the map. It might rotate off. Wow.
Keep right, and then exit right.
So this is the hub access and Silverbow. So that's interesting. I know there were some industrial parks that were being added to Montana. I don't know if this is one of them. So I think those are cattle protection. Cows won't cross them because I guess it's uncomfortable for them to step on that. So while it's open and things can go through, it's a barrier that they won't cross. So it's as good as a fence.
Get ready to turn right.
I see some way stations, but I don't see
Turn right.
any rest stations. So again, that's a bit disappointing. So Montana Freight Terminal. So this might be an impressive little space here. We'll see what it looks like. Looks like we're kind of at the end there. I'm not quite sure where it's having us deliver. But as the sun is starting to set, I hear a train. I don't see anything happening, so I guess I'll continue on. I suppose approaching a freight terminal would make sense. So yeah, this may not be specifically a way station, but it may be for this location. Just, they want everything weighed before it goes on the rails. It's telling us we can bypass. But we obviously have to drive through somewhere, so go ahead and do that. Can't turn here yet. We do have another truck actually moving along out of the rail terminal. That's cool. Alright, I'm going to swing a bit wide here. It's a pretty busy place. Ultra low emissions diesel hybrid is what it said on that locomotive.
You have arrived at your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
Alright, there it is. I was going to say, I'm hoping I'm not having to pull in the middle of those other things. That would be crazy. Because again, these can't be backed up. Tend to not get a lot of experience because in essence you're just driving in there. But yeah, I have 31 minutes till I need to rest. I'm thinking gonna get a penalty for resting. But I'll worry about that, and nothing for you to worry about. You can see we're at 4 of 12, so making good progress. Alright, so there's not a lot of options. I've taken a load of lumber that's going to go up to Helena, and I guessed wrong on how I need to get there. Let's see, can I get through here? Looks like I can. So I'm going to have to rest. I'm sure I'm going to get some penalties, but I'll see you on the other side. I've gone ahead, expanded drivers. Again, not that I'm really doing much of a gameplay situation here, but 4 trucks, 4 drivers, expanded 2, actually expanded 3 garages, but didn't put anything into one of them yet. But I'm sure by the time I'm done with this, I'll have the funding to do that. So I'm moving along, haven't found a place to rest yet. But continuing, there we go, sleeping violation, but there is a rest stop there. Saw the billboard come up, big rig parking.
Make a U-turn.
Alright, so we can pull in here for trucks, it's telling me. I think I'm going to go ahead and get gas. But truck stops are a big part of the experience, so drivers, I'm assuming that's what this place is really called in real life, but maybe not. Not sure if I'm going to be able to park right here, but we'll try. Alright, so the nice thing is we've gotten rested. It's daylight. That's always nice too. But yeah, these are large truck stops here, which is great. I love having an easy way in and an easy way out, not having to fight for space, things like that. So I'm going to keep going. I suppose I'll just keep going here anyway, since we are in a new space. There we go. Continue to have drivers bringing me money, which is good. Kind of the milestone is 100 drivers. I think that'll be really, it'll be a big number. How about that? So that's a massive company if we've got 100 trucks, 100 drivers. If you think about the investment, I mean, it's 150,000 plus per truck. So I think we're talking, you know, $15 million just of equipment. And then the drivers and so forth, but things are moving up pretty well. So there's Helena and Billings. Now this is Butte proper. So we're finally heading through here. Compass says we're headed east. Looks like we have to go north here to go to Helena.
Keep right and then exit right.
Alright, here we go. know Helena is the capital of Montana, so maybe there will be some big fancy Capitol building here that we'll see once we get there. Obviously, we're still 70 miles away. So yeah, a couple of the places I expanded into are LA Depot is now 5 slots and full. So you would think they'd have enough jobs, but I don't know which drivers I put where. So I'm curious if I'd ever get to the point, and again, I don't know that I'm going to be playing this enough. Looks like we've got a viewpoint out there, but not headed that way, so not something we're going to spend time with today. If I come across them in this mini-series, so be it, but again, this is less a gameplay series than simply sharing Montana with you series. Just trying to show every new space I drive over. Oh, there's the Continental Divide. 6,368 feet, looks like it said. Sure, surprised there wasn't some Steam achievement for that, but there isn't. But we're going to be up at Helena in no time, 37 miles, so a couple more turns and we'll be there. So definitely, ooh, this is a big sweeping turn here. But what I was starting to say is definitely getting a bit more mountainous. So as we head north, looks like that's the situation there. Alright, now we're down to 15, so it's got to be right here. As soon as we have another exit, I'm sure this will be ours. So there you go, Helena's the next 2 exits. There's the capital area, as we talked about. Might be getting off there, because we're less than 10 miles away. Looks like we've got some sort of signs there. Well, that's a nice payday, almost 24,000. It's not telling me to exit here. Whoa. A little bit of fun here. Somebody did something they shouldn't have done, I guess. So I think we've got a truck dealer and a viewpoint. I'm sure, again, the state capitol, but we're not headed to that location, so not gonna find it.
Right, and then exit right.
But there we go, the second Helena exit. Although we had already discovered Helena driving in.
Keep left, and then turn
So
left.
that'll be a truck dealer of some sort over there.
Turn left.
So getting close. After this one, I'll be at 5 of 12. You know, when you're targeting it, it tends to go relatively quickly. Oh, nice helicopter there. Alright, we can see our delivery. Not sure what's up in the sky there, if it's like a drone or or if I'm just seeing things. That could be too. I do not recall seeing as many Waffle Houses, so I don't know if they've just decided to add those in. Somehow they got the ability to do that, or maybe it's just part of real companies, but I swear I've not seen them until now, but maybe I'm just not remembering correctly. So a little bit of a double there from Boeing, just pulling off.
Left, and then turn left. Turn left.
Alright, so I guess that's right here. Got someone repairing the light pole. Nice.
Get ready to turn right.
Alright, so
Turn
delivering to Centex, which makes sense. They certainly would need some lumber to build some homes. Alright, so it looks like we're right
It's all over now.
there. So I think I need to... It's going to be a bit of an interesting job, but get that parked. We'll take a look at our 5 of 5. I keep saying 5 of 5, 2 of 2, but 5 of 12.